I like to swirl in on this fill design, go all the way in, then come back around, cross, touch anywhere on the design, and then you can swirl out, tuck around in, come across your line, and again, touch anywhere you'd like. You can touch all the way up here if you'd like. Come all the way in. Now, if you'd like a looser design, I'm going to tuck these ends in. You can just do it that way. And what's great about this design is you can just use it to fill anywhere. So this is the design that I'm going to use. It always reminds me of the wind, and it's so natural and free-flowing. Now if I get myself in a tight spot, I can either come all the way out and then come around, I like to vary the size of these. So I can either come all the way out and come around, or I can, for example, if I wanted to, if I got stuck, I just don't feel guilty tying off. Say I wanted to fill this area, I would tie off right here, and then I'd come back in, pull up my bobbin thread, and then start again up here. And you can just fill the design. And you just keep right on going, and it's so fun and freeing. Don't get too tight. One thing that is a common mistake with this design is making them all line up. If you start off and you make them all line up, they look awkward if they're all in a straight line. They look really funny, so try to avoid that. For the border design, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this inner design and I'm going to pull it out to the border just a little bit. But because of the motif with the birds, I wanted to add a floral element and maybe even a little feather. So I'm going to try two different variations. We'll see which one we like the best, and then we'll go for it on the quilt itself. So again, I'm going to start with a swirl. And what I usually do is I end up counting these. And you know the deal, odd numbers are usually best. So I'm going to do 3 of these. Then I'm going to pull around and do a little feather. So to do your feather, if you want to, tuck it all the way in. This is the secret right here. Pull it parallel to your design, and you'll have better luck with your feathers. So something like that maybe, and you could potentially echo that inside. So I'm just auditioning that. Not actually in love with that. I think it's too big, that feather at least. So I think what I'll do is try doing a little bit smaller and then go with 3 leaves, maybe even a little flower. So on this flower, I'm going to come in, draw myself a little center, and then I'm just going to make some wiggly little bumps, and I'm going to try to go for 5. And you'll see here I'm kind of tucked back in here. I think it's probably best to tie off and then start again. Let's go the opposite direction with our swirl. I think I'm going to like that a lot better. So I'm going to tie in some swirls. I like the openness of those leaves a little better too. So maybe smaller leaves, but that's the gist of the pattern that I'm going to go for. So I think we'll go for this design in a modified scale. But that's how I audition designs. I actually draw out the border, try out a couple different things, see how it flows, see if it's easy to turn corners and so forth. I know for a fact that this will be easy with all of these flowing lines to turn a corner. So this is what we're going to go for.
I'd like to show you a few of the products that I'm going to be using just to make my job a little bit easier quilting this today. I'm going to be using 505 temporary spray adhesive. Also some quilting gloves by Machingers. They're really lightweight. They have some friction tips on them that make it easy to really control your quilt top. Also going to be using a So Steady table, wonderful flat surface, very slick table, and a ruler work starter set that includes an adapter especially made for my Bernina machine. The last thing is I'm going to be using the actual ruler from Handy Quilter that's called the Versatool ruler. Just a great little ruler with some handy grip tape, wonderful grabby tape that will help us steer the quilt around the foot. So those are the things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start by quilting the background, then I'll come back in with the ruler and do the birds. So let's get started using our auditioned wind design around these open areas. I brought up my bobbin thread and here we go. I'm going to lock my stitch and then it's nice and smooth and steady. I do have my bobbin matching the color of my top thread. It always takes me a minute to get my groove on when I'm doing these designs. And then I can kind of go to town. And you can see I have some space over here that's kind of be a challenge to get to, so I'm going to go ahead and curve around and take care of that. You can see you can just adapt this design so easily. I'll tie off there. And I've locked my stitch, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure my needle's all the way up. And I'm going to sneak over here and find a nice easy curve to sneak into. Lock my stitch a little bit. Just smooth. You'll find that these Machingers gloves just make your life so easy. And a smooth surface like a So Steady table is just divine. Once you get the hang of machine quilting, it's a blissful form of meditation. Relax and enjoy the ride. Sneak in here. Always best to stop in a point. Kind of fun. All right. And notice that it's important to reposition when you're machine quilting on a home machine. It's one of the benefits of a long run. You can keep it nice and flat and Alright, so all of my background quilting is now done, and I'm going to go back in and add some detail. I decided that I wanted white thread on these little lines right here, so I'm going to use my ruler to help me out. I'm pushing into the ruler and pushing down, and this VersaGrip tape is grabbing hold of the quilt and pushing the quilt into the ruler, so, and the foot. So I'm just going to stitch along here. And you can see you can get really nice precision stitching like this. And I'm going to go ahead and go all the way down this center line and reposition a little bit. And again, I'm lining everything up so it's nice and straight. This is quite thick down here at the bottom, so I'm going to be really squared up. Down here we'll go across. Back up one stitch, and then I'm going to back up. And I'm having a hard time seeing there, so I don't think I'm going to try that blind. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up and get where I can see. And come back up here. Pull up that bobbin thread. Get everything situated and lock my stitch right where I want it. And I'll straighten everything out. And again, I'm trying to line everything up so it's nice and square. Gonna reposition.